Hey friends, have you ever sent a pitch to the media? You've heard some crickets. You're like, what's going on here? Well, maybe it's not your pitch, but it could be your timing. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how to use a PR calendar, which is really just the days of the year, what's going on, the events, holidays, etc., to pitch at the right time to actually get noticed, to have your email get opened by the right person at the right time who wants to use your story for their story. Have you ever noticed if you watch the news, there are certain segments that run at certain times of the year, like around Christmas? What are they talking about? They're talking about the holidays. They're talking about and bringing on nutritionists who can make your family dinner meals around the holidays like a little bit more healthy, or how to handle, family conversations around the holidays, how to set boundaries around the holidays. So there is a calendar that writers, journalists, reporters, not so much podcast hosts, are really utilizing on a yearly basis to schedule their content because they know that's what the masses are thinking about. Holidays are like the perfect example. So in today's video, I'm going to go over what is a PR calendar, how to pitch with the calendar, and when not to pitch, because there is some media etiquette that I think can help everyone listening today. And we're going to have fun. We're going to jump right in. Now, if you are new here, my name is Bridget Aileen Cisco. I'm the co-founder of a company called Visibility on Purpose, and we help founders and product brands and their products get featured in the media. Think podcasts, TV, editorial features, and we teach you how you can do this yourself. If you are watching these videos, you might be a little bit more in a shoestring budget. Maybe you're not famous yet. You're not super well known yet, but there are things that you can be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis in your own business to get more eyes on what you're doing. And that's what we're really passionate about. So together with my co-founder, Lydia Bagarosa, who has been a publicist for over a decade at this point, she's represented some incredible clients like James Bay, Beach Boys, Ex-Ambassadors. I love that song. Renegades. I love that song so much. So she's been doing this for a while, and I have been doing my own PR for the last probably 5 years or so. Gotten myself featured in Entrepreneur, Delish, Yoga Journal. How amazing! How amazing. And that was so exciting for me. Spoken on over 50 podcasts and spoken on stages. So I'm just here sharing everything I've learned. I've also done this for clients. Lydia's been doing this for clients. So let's jump in today. So what is a PR calendar? A PR calendar really helps you align your pitch with what journalists and TV anchors and reporters are actually looking for when they're looking for it. So we need to understand that media usually works months in advance, especially magazines and big websites, because they are tasked with writing a story, unless they're a freelancer, but they have to write a story and they need experts. They need products to make that story more powerful. So here's what I mean about this calendar. A Christmas gift guide, they start talking about this like July, August, September. And if you have watched any of our other videos and used the sites that we love, like Quoted, Featured, SOS, I think Harrow's coming back, everyone. Spilling the tea for you. You'll actually see that they're having these media queries and these media callouts around that time of year. So this is not, if you have an essential oil company and you want to get that in some holiday gift guides, don't start December 1st. Like, this is something that needs to be done in advance. And this is why like PR is part of your big overall brand strategy, because it's not just like you post something. It's a little bit different, right? There's strategy involved, there's creativity involved with your angles. Now, Women's History Month, you need to probably send your story. Women's History Month is in March. You probably need to send that story in like January, February, just to get it on their radar. Back to school, think more early summer, because that's when they're starting to prep those stories. They want to get their experts, they want to get their products and have everything organized ahead of time. So other things that you can think about with a calendar, you can be thinking about holidays. You can be thinking about days. So what I mean by days is there's like a day for everything now. There's like probably National Dog Day, National like American Pie Day. There's there's a day for everything. There's all these like little events that have been made up throughout the year, and you can get press on those days, like Veterans Day. So if you are a veteran nonprofit, that's a great time to do that. There's like health and wellness months. There's all these initiatives that content is put out around, and you can kind of jump on that bandwagon as a business owner and get more of that out there into the public, which is what you want to be doing anyway. So here's how to pitch with the calendar and using it to your advantage. So step one, you really want to be finding a day or a holiday or a seasonal hook. Seasons are really important too. So we're spring, summer now. What's going on? What are people talking about? We have a download for this and I'll actually link it below so that you can easily do that. I think that'll be helpful. So you want to be working 2 to 3 months in advance once you understand the story that you're going to be pitching. You want to check editorial calendars on magazine sites. They actually list them, so that can be a really, really helpful thing. And you can even set Google alerts for trending topics, which I think is a great idea. And another little spoiler, good idea, is to set a Google alert with your name or your brand's name. That way, if you're ever like mentioned in the media, you'll get notified. I find that very helpful. Make sure you do that. It doesn't get everything, but it's worth it. So an example of this is if you're a wellness brand, pitch around Stress Awareness Month by like early February. If you're a bakery and you want to pitch your custom holiday treats, like start in September, October. Just like work ahead of schedule. It's really going to help you. And as mentioned in many videos, like we have an entire DIY PR course. So making this really easy for you, breaking it down super, super simply. Now, last but not least, here's when you should not pitch calendar-wise. So some no-go times to avoid during major holidays or world events. Like if there is a huge major breaking news story and you're about to pitch like a happy-go-lucky pacifier company, unless your story aligns, like unless your story ties in, it's really not a good time to pitch that because it's probably going to fall through the wayside and like no one's going to see it. And that's not what you want. So major holidays, if there's a huge national news break, if there is something that everyone's eyes and attention are on, it's not a good time to pitch something unless it relates to that. So like I've used COVID as an example, but it's helpful. So during COVID, obviously there's a lot of content being put out on that topic. So if you were talking about, a pacifier company, maybe that wasn't the best time for this pacifier company to be trying to pitch the product or pitch it for a story. However, if you are an epidemiologist, if you are a doctor, that's a great time to talk and pitch yourself because your voice is wanted during that time. Now, holidays, weekends, Fridays, that's just really not the best. Usually Fridays, like we wouldn't recommend pitching just because the writers are usually like, done for the week with that and they're not really looking to accept all the pitches then. So weekends, holidays, Fridays, we just like to avoid. And now if there's right before a deadline, if you have a Valentine's Day pitch, don't send it on February 13th. Don't send your Christmas pitch on December 24th. Halloween, no, don't do it on that day because that content is already going to be written. That piece is already going to be written. They're already prepped. They've already sent it to the editor. Like it's already done. So your chance for that is gone. Now, reminders, timing is everything in PR. Having the right time for that angle, for the right person at the right time is so important. If you can master when to pitch, you're really ahead of many, many small business owners who are just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. And this is where like the PR etiquette also comes into play. In our DIY PR course, Lydia actually has a whole segment on like media etiquette because there's just some things that you want to be thinking about. Like maybe don't pitch the same person like 5 times in a row or be like, why aren't you answering me back? So we cover all of that and more inside of the course anyway. But I think this is a really helpful stepping stone to understand and work with some of the calendar days because it can give you some great ideas for story angles for your brand. If you like this and you want more, please subscribe, like, comment, like ask me a question about the calendar. We'd love to support you. And the more that you subscribe and like and comment on this content, we get to keep making this content for you, which is honestly so, so fun for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys have a great day.